Anyone can throw some products on a website. That part takes an afternoon. The hard part is building an e-commerce business that actually sells and that you don't hate running 6 months in. I'll show you how to start an e-commerce business from choosing what to sell to getting your first order. More importantly, I'll show you how to build an online business. Wix is sponsoring this video, and I'll show you how to build an online store using Wix Harmony, its AI website builder. Whether you're opening a boutique, drop shipping, or launching your own product line, the steps are the same, and Wix scales with you from the first sale to a large online brand. We'll go through what to sell and how to know people will buy it. Then we'll build your store and cover payments, product sourcing, pricing, shipping, and taxes. We'll also talk about how to get your first customers and what to watch once you're live. First things first, what are you selling? As you decide what to sell, forget the idea of finding a winning product you can import, promote with meta ads, and immediately turn into a six-figure business. The trend might disappear next week, leaving you with a garage full of inventory. Building something sustainable starts with finding a problem you can solve, a customer you understand, or an industry where you can become genuinely useful. Ask yourself, is this a business or industry I could see myself working in for years? Is there a specific reason someone would purchase from me? And what's the lowest cost way to prove I'm on the right track? You don't need a lifelong passion or a completely original product. I use a tabletop tripod called the SwitchPod. Its founders, Pat Flynn and Caleb Wojcik, were frustrated by portable camera tripods like the GorillaPod that felt unstable under thousands of dollars of camera equipment. They created prototypes, handed them to other creators, collected feedback, built a list of interested customers, and then funded the production through Kickstarter. They didn't begin with inventory. They began with the problem, created the smallest version they could test, and increased the investment as evidence grew. You can also start in an industry rather than one product. Suppose you're interested in health and biohacking. Start by sharing products you already use, such as cookware, water filters, blue light blocking glasses, or infrared lights. You can earn affiliate commissions by sending people to someone else's store. At the same time, you can learn what your audience clicks, buys, dislikes, and keeps asking for. Over time, you might dropship certain products, stock others, and eventually create something on your own when you discover an underserved need. There are ways to make money and serve an audience at every stage. The important thing is becoming knowledgeable and trusted in a space, not grabbing whichever product happens to be trending. And don't worry if you aren't already an expert. My friend Arjun didn't grow up passionate about forming LLCs. He started Doula after experiencing how difficult it was to get a business off the ground. As he became better at solving that problem and saw the impact on customers, his passion for the work grew. Sometimes passion starts the work, other times competence, progress, and customer results create the passion. Whatever path you take, look for evidence. Compliments and likes are encouraging, but stronger signals are strangers joining your waitlist, requesting a sample, placing a pre-order, purchasing your first product, or even better, returning to buy again. Then run the numbers, account for the product, packaging, shipping, payment fees, returns, and what it costs to reach customers. A product people like still needs enough profit to support the business. You don't need all the answers before creating a website. An affiliate site can start with a page of honest recommendations. If you're making homemade honey, you can share the process, collect interest, and even pre-sell the first batch. Start small, get feedback, and let real customers show you where the business should go next. Next, you need a name for your online store. It could describe what you sell, reference a story or place, use your own name, or be something completely made up. My clothing brand was called Morton and Bedford after the intersection where I lived in New York. One of my YouTube channels is Greater Than Enough because its purpose is to help people go from having less than enough to more than enough. To generate ideas, write down words connected to your product, your industry, and the feeling you want the business to create. It can also help to list the ideas that you want to avoid. If you want to help people improve their finances and build wealth slowly and sustainably, you probably don't want a name that sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme. Ty Kim's YouTube channel, Financial Tortoise, is a good example of a name related to building wealth slowly over time. Once you have a little direction, you can use AI to generate combinations, metaphors, and invented words. Create a long list, then keep the names that are easy to say, spell, and remember. They should also be broad enough to grow with the business. Search each contender online to make sure another company isn't already using that name. Run a preliminary trademark search, check whether these social handles are available, and then look for the domain. Ideally, get the .com domain if it's available. You can also use country-specific domains or alternatives like .co, .store, or .shop. If everything checks out, register the domain and claim the social handles. But don't let the search for the perfect name hold up your business. You can change the name later, move to a new domain, use a DBA, a doing business as, to operate under another brand name. Making progress is more valuable than waiting for lightning to strike. Inside Wix, you can search for a domain and connect it directly to your website. With any annual Wix premium plan, your domain is included for free for the first year. Now let's talk about choosing the right online store builder. First, can you build and update the site yourself without hiring someone every time you need to make a change? Does it have templates that match the look and feel that you want for your brand? And can the site continue to grow with your business? Can AI create a useful first draft so you aren't staring at a blank screen or replacing generic filler text? And after AI builds it, can you easily change things yourself without starting a conversation for every small adjustment? It should be mobile friendly and include SEO tools. It should handle the practical side of running an online store: inventory, payments, shipping, taxes, and blogging. If you also sell in person, you'll also need a point of sale system. The question isn't only, can I launch with this? It's, will I be happy with this platform as the business grows? Wix ecommerce does a great job across those areas. With Wix Harmony, there are two main ways to begin. You can choose a template and customize it yourself. Wix has thousands of templates. It will recommend several based on your business. You can also browse the full collection until you find the starting point that fits your brand. Personally, I'd rather begin with AI. You could type something short like I'm launching a shoe brand, and Wix Harmony will create the website. But with only a few words to work from, the design may not have the look you want, and the text will probably sound generic. The more useful and detailed the information you give to AI, the better the first draft becomes. That's why we created a free website blueprint prompt. You can use it with any AI tool to work through what your business does, which pages it needs, and what belongs on each page. It can also help you plan the text and photos you need, along with the colors, fonts, and a logo that fits your brand. Once that blueprint is ready, paste it into Wix Harmony. Instead of getting a generic website, you should have a solid first draft that's much closer to something you could publish. You'll still need to replace the placeholder images with real photos and make some adjustments, but you won't be starting from scratch. After Wix creates the site, I use Aria, Wix's AI agent, for bigger changes. I can ask it to create a 3-column section with a photo, title, and a short description in each column. Then I can watch it build the section for me. Aria can also rewrite text, make something more succinct, expand on an idea, or check the spelling and grammar throughout a page. If I want to experiment, I can use the editor to click through different colors and fonts and see how they actually look on the site. I can also resize a heading, move a button, or edit its text by clicking on it and making the change myself. That combination is important. AI can handle the heavy lifting, but I still have direct control over whatever I'd like. Once you have the foundation, focus on the pages that customers need. Start with the homepage. The first section, often called the hero section, should quickly show what you sell, what makes it interesting, and what someone should do next. From there, you might feature your main products and briefly introduce the business. Then create an about page. This is something many businesses overlook. While visiting Canada, I wanted coffee shipped to me, so I opened the websites of several Canadian coffee roasters. I ultimately chose Phil and Sebastian because of their about page. Their story follows two engineers who became obsessed with better espresso and developed their expertise from zero. They worked through years of setbacks and were initially denied a place at the Calgary Farmers Market, but they eventually found a way in, opened their first location, and began building the business they have today with multiple locations and great coffee. That story tipped the decision in their favor. Your about page should explain why you started, what you care about, and what makes the business worth supporting. Real photos of you, your products, and the work behind them, not just generic AI images. Add a contact page too. When a business is new, customers may have questions before they feel comfortable purchasing. Then create your shop. If you have several kinds of products, organize them into categories that make sense to someone encountering the business for the first time. For each product, add clear photos, the product name, price, description, and any available options such as size or color. Then enter how many you have in stock so the platform knows when something is running low or sold out. Finally, add an FAQ page and make your shipping, return, and privacy policies easy to find. Customers are more likely to purchase from a new business when they can quickly understand what they're buying, when it'll arrive, and what happens if something goes wrong. Before your first sale, you also want to set up the business behind the store. In the United States, you can operate as a sole proprietor, which means you and the business are legally the same. Many online store owners decide to form an LLC instead, which can help separate the business's liabilities from the owner's personal assets when it's set up and maintained correctly. If you plan to raise venture capital, you'll probably want to create a Delaware C Corp. But that's a different path and something to discuss with an attorney. You can form an LLC through your state's business filing office, usually the Secretary of State, or use a formation service like Doula. The timeline varies by state, so don't wait until launch day. Once the business is formed, open a separate business bank account. Keeping your business and personal transactions separate makes your records and taxes easier and gives you a clear picture of whether the store is profitable. Next, you'll want to connect a payment processor so customers can pay you. Wix Payments is Wix's built-in payment processor. In the United States, the fee is 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction for most debit and credit cards. American Express is higher at 3.7% plus 30 cents. Wix doesn't charge a separate transaction fee on top of that. That's different from platforms like Shopify, which charge an extra percentage when you use a third-party processor. Depending on your location, you can also accept payments using Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. Wix also supports third-party processors such as Stripe and Square, although the availability can depend on the country. Connect your bank account and complete the verification process before launch. Approval and payouts can take time, so you can use a coming soon page to collect email addresses while everything's being set up. For shipping, deciding where the products will be stored and who will fulfill each order. You might keep everything at home and pack orders yourself. You could use a third-party logistics company or 3PL that stores your inventory and handles fulfillment. Or your supplier could ship directly to your customer through dropshipping or print on demand. Then choose where you'll ship and what customers will pay. You could offer flat rate, free shipping over a certain value, rates based on weight or quantity, or live carrier pricing. Depending on where you're based, Wix Shipping, powered by Shippo, lets you compare discounted carrier rates and purchase and print labels from your Wix dashboard. If you need more shipping features, services like Shippo and ShipStation can sync your orders and compare rates across multiple carriers. You can also print labels and monitor tracking information. These services can help manage orders from other marketplaces as your business grows. Be clear at checkout about the price, estimated delivery time, tracking, and who pays for returns. If you're selling something valuable, consider shipping insurance too. Finally, there are two main categories of taxes to understand: sales tax and income tax. Sales tax is usually added to the purchase price during checkout. The customer pays it, and your business collects and sends it to the appropriate state or local tax authority. You generally need to collect sales tax anywhere your business has nexus, a connection that creates a tax obligation. Your home state may create nexus. So can storing inventory in another state, using a warehouse there, hiring employees there, or crossing that state's economic sales threshold. Every state has different rules. Once you determine where you're required to register and collect, Wix can calculate the appropriate tax and add it during checkout. Wix's automated sales tax feature uses Avalara, a third-party app available on the Business and Business Elite plans. The Business plan currently includes 100 automated tax transactions per month, while Business Elite includes 500. But calculating the tax is not the same as registering, filing a return, and sending the money to the state. Those responsibilities still belong to you and your business. Income tax is separate. It's generally based on the business's profit, which is your revenue minus expenses. Because the rules vary by location and become more complicated as the business grows, professional help can be worthwhile. Doula's Business in a Box includes a dedicated bookkeeper, financial statements, tax filing support, and estimated quarterly taxes. I'll link that and additional tax resources down below. Before you publish, go through the store exactly as a customer would. Check every page on both desktop and mobile. Click every link and button, submit the contact form, and place a real test order. Make sure the shipping and sales tax are calculated correctly. The confirmation email arrives, your inventory updates, and you can issue a refund. Fix anything that feels confusing and then publish the website. But remember, publishing isn't marketing. SEO can help people discover you over time, but it probably won't generate much launch day traffic. You want to start building interest before anything is even for sale. For example, my friend launching a vintage jewelry store can share her trips to antique stores, the pieces she finds, and the outfits she creates with them. That helps her build an audience and learn what people respond to before opening her store. That same principle works for almost anything. Show the process, teach what you're learning, and invite people into the story. Then think about where your potential customers already spend time and what type of outreach fits your strengths. That could mean starting with friends, family, and acquaintances, or meeting people at markets and industry events. It could also mean creating content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Substack. Before launching the SwitchPod, Pat Flynn and Caleb Wojcik brought their prototype to VidSummit, a big YouTuber conference, to put it in the hands of a bunch of creators. That gave them feedback and a group of potential customers before launching their Kickstarter campaign. The goal is to get in front of the right people early. Choose 1 or 2 marketing channels you can realistically sustain. I'm a big fan of YouTube because a useful video can continue appearing in search results for months or even years. For faster feedback, you can also test Google or Meta ads. These let you reach a focused audience based on things like searches, interests, location, and demographics. Just begin with a budget you can afford to lose. Your early advertising may buy you information before it produces a profit. Before launch, write down your marketing plan and prepare at least a week, ideally a month of content. Start posting early and schedule what you can. Once orders and customer questions begin arriving, you don't want to be scrambling to decide what to post that day. On launch day, publish the store, verify that the live checkout works, and tell your audience that they can finally buy. For the first 30 days, focus on 3 things: serving customers, generating traffic, and learning. Respond quickly to questions, fulfill orders, continue publishing content, and reach out directly to potential customers. Depending on the product, you might also send samples to a few relevant creators or get the product in front of people at an event. From your Wix store dashboard, you can manage orders, track inventory, and monitor what's working. Pay attention to more than total sales. Where's your traffic coming from? Which products, posts, or ads are people clicking on? Which questions keep coming up? Where are people leaving the website? If you run ads, start with a small test. The results can help you understand which audiences, messages, and products get the best response. A campaign that doesn't immediately make money doesn't necessarily mean the business is a failure, but you should learn something before spending more. Talk to your first customers, ask why they purchased, what nearly stopped them, and what could be improved. If they're happy, invite them to leave an honest review or testimonial. Bright Local's 2026 research found that nearly half of consumers trust reviews as much as recommendations from friends and family. That makes early social proof extremely valuable. With permission, add your strongest reviews to the relevant product pages. Then use everything you learn to improve the product, your messaging, and the website. The first month isn't a final verdict on your business. It's the first useful collection of real-world evidence. Take what you learned, choose the next thing to test, and keep going. That's the full process of starting an online store. Find a problem, customer, or an industry where you can be genuinely useful. Prove that you're moving in the right direction without spending a fortune. Choose a name, secure the domain and social accounts, build the store, and set up your payments, shipping, and taxes. Then test everything, prepare your marketing, and launch. You can't learn what customers want by endlessly improving the idea in your head. Put something useful in front of real people, listen to what they tell you, make it better, and repeat. You can go to Wix.com to start creating your online store today, and our free website blueprint prompt is linked below to help you plan it. One of the hardest parts of launching is consistently creating content and growing an audience. So watch this video next, where I'll show you how to create entire months of social media content with AI. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.